You're listening to the Rebel Connect podcast, powered by Rebel Strength and Performance. Community isn't built by luck. It's built by people who show up every day, take risks, and create real impact. I'm Derek Talish, owner of Rebel Strength and Performance, along with co-host Melissa Jaquinto. We sit down with Rebel members, local business owners, community leaders, and change makers. You'll hear their success stories and the way they're building community and legacy right where you live. Want to stay inspired and connected? Subscribe or follow the show so you never miss an episode. This is Rebel Connect, where local stories become lasting impact. Brand new episode of Rebel Connect coming at you. I am your host, Derek Talish. This is
Melissa Jaquinto.
And a special guest today, star employee,
Ryan Katz.
Welcome, listeners, and we are super excited for this episode. We had a phenomenal car ride down here. It was, we laughed, we cried, we were terrified. It was a normal Rebel car ride. There was coffee. There was a lot of making fun of. There was feelings.
Everything.
There was resolution. Ryan whimpered several points at a time, but ultimately he is ready for his first appearance on the podcast.
Woohoo!
And I drove the Jeep.
You did drive the Jeep. The Jeep has been
Good to us.
It's been fun lately.
Good to us.
It's been fun lately. We've had some good weather up here in New Jersey, and we've been able to have the roof off and the doors off, and we fly around all day. It's very fun. But in any case, Ryan, your first podcast. Are you nervous?
Yes. Yes, it's my first podcast. No, I'm not nervous. I love talking.
Ryan put on the biggest show of a session the other day when he had a group of people. Were you there when he?
Oh, when he was asking questions
when he
about
grouped
himself?
everybody together.
Yes.
You mean Ryan Trivia?
Made them do Ryan Trivia during squat holds was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen you do. But with that said, for our listeners that don't know you, Ryan, give me a little bit of a background on you. Who are you? Right? Who are you? Why are you here?
Why am I here? Loaded question. My background, I've just really always loved like exercise and sports and being around it, and I knew from like a young age that, well, I unfortunately knew I wasn't going to play professionally or at a high level because I wasn't very good, but I always knew I wanted to be around sports, and I continued to always watch and analyze and help out my friends where they needed help if they were better athletes than me, and just really love being around all kinds of sports and athletes in general and love helping them get better. But aside from that, I love also participating in like active hobbies like golf, basketball. I just love moving around and being active.
It's funny, like, you know, we talked about this, I think, in one of them previously. The amount of trainers, I think it's probably 99% of us are all washed up athletes that at some point in time realized, oh, it's going to stop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
We're not going to be athletes forever, you know, or we have these feelings of like wanting it to continue, but it's not going to continue for us. So we help other people doing it. That brings me to, when did you first think, all right, I might want to be a trainer? Ryan is, if I didn't say so already, he's been a trainer at Rebel for 2 years. He is probably about as dynamic of a coach as I've ever met.
He's the Energizer Bunny.
He's a lot like the Energizer Bunny
100%.
at all hours.
Yeah.
And he's easily just one of the most love life, energetic, happy people I've ever met. But when did you figure out, or when did you have the first thought, like, all right, like, personal training might be something that I want to get into?
I'll say that I don't know if it was always like personal training is my thing. I just knew I wanted to be around movement and helping people like move better and understand why moving better is going to help them and their longevity. But I would say even as early as middle school, I actually went to a vocational program for my first few months of high school to study sports medicine. And it was really cool and I loved it, but the high school wasn't a great fit for me. I wanted to play baseball with my hometown friends. So I ended up going back to my hometown school at Pequannock, but the dream of like being around fitness was always there.
What led you to Votech initially? How was that decision? How did you come to it? And when did you realize it wasn't for you?
I came to the decision because my cousin went there and she loved it, and the program really caught my attention, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed the time that I had there, but I knew that I would be happier. About a couple months in, I think I transferred back Thanksgiving break. I just really missed my friends and the social aspect of being in high school. And it was just a lot easier to be in the hometown, not have to commute. And again, just really wanted to play baseball with the kids that I grew up playing baseball with my whole life.
Yeah, there's something fun about that. You get through high school, you have always a passion for baseball. Did you play basketball in high school as well?
No, I didn't. I played AAU basketball pretty intensely when I was in middle school, but I kind of just dropped everything for baseball. I started working in high school, so I only really had one season off for baseball, and then summer, winter, fall, I'd be working.
What was your job in high school?
I was on
I
the
actually
wait
don't know
staff.
this.
I was on the wait staff of Erickson Living Cedar Crest community, which was just basically like a retirement community.
You didn't know this about
I
him?
didn't know this about him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I knew
I
this.
worked in the restaurant. So from when I was like 15 or 16, probably end of when I was 16 till when I was 18, I worked as on the wait staff of just like retirement home restaurant. But they would just come to the restaurant. They wouldn't tip or anything. It was just they'd use their cards. And it was really fun for us because they all knew us. And it was just a bunch of kids from 15 to 18 years old. And we were just like learning how to communicate and serve like people that sometimes like were kind of at the end of their journey. It was a little bit emotional when like they would die when you were there and you're like, oh my God, like I can't
I don't mean to laugh, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, no, it's like a little bit weird for
Because
someone
you
that
create
age.
a relationship with them and stuff like
and
that.
it's
Yeah.
You can kind of tell when they're losing it a little bit, and you're like a 17-year-old kid. You're just like you just give them a little bit of something that they don't see on a day-to-day basis when they're in that community with 55-plus-year-old people. Then they don't leave.
There's something super infectious about youthful energy, so I actually really love that. And I also love the thought of you being around these people that have such life experience. That's life experience that can't be replicated unless you've literally traveled that path. So it's something that I am surprised to hear, but I'm not surprised to hear because one thing that I've always liked on your resume, which I didn't recall that one, Rye, is that you have experience at Moe's. And I love when a trainer comes to Rebel or somebody who wants to train a Rebel and they come in with any service-based experience. Service-based experience to me is as valuable as anything else because it, at very base level, tells me that you are able to hold a conversation and have many different hellos. Knowing that you were part of that like retirement community and being able to work there and whatnot just doesn't really surprise me at all.
They did love me. But,
Ryan is also the most incredible burrito folder that I've ever seen in my life
He does
because
have
of Moe's. We've jam-packed some tortillas, and he creates incredible burritos.
make magic. But I don't even let Chipotle roll my burritos anymore. Nothing against them. They just
He's not kidding.
I
know.
don't like the way they do it. And you know what? You can watch them. Next time you order a lot of stuff in a burrito, they're gonna see if you're looking, and they don't even care if you're looking. They're gonna roll it, and they don't even roll it. They just kind of tuck it over, and
a
even
great
if it's
motion.
open, they're gonna just roll the tinfoil over it. And when you open that tinfoil, lettuce and chicken's falling out, and there's really nothing you can do at that point.
You know what that
The tortilla's
is?
cold.
But isn't that the society we live in, right? They just kind of fold up their mistakes and pass it on to the next person.
Yeah, there's no
That's terrible.
integrity in the burrito rolling community anymore, and there really needs to be. We should talk about that on another day.
Melissa's absolutely 10 out of 10 not a burrito person.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. You
I
make
love
burritos.
burritos. I'm also very good at folding them. Probably not as good as Ryan, but out of the three of us, definitely number 2 of 3. Derek, you definitely are not very good at folding burritos, but we'll have to find that out at a later date.
Yeah, I'm sure you're a cauliflower wrap person.
Ew,
Don't even talk to me.
ew, no,
Cauliflower.
no,
disgusting.
no. Full
Um,
tortillas. Give me the real thing.
Flour or corn for tacos, though.
Flour.
Yeah, flour 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways,
You are through high school. We're through Ryan's high school. Now, you graduate high school. Where do you do most of your drinking for the next 4 years?
Oh, wait, this is a college question. Okay. I was like, bachelor's? I don't know.
Bachelor's.
So I went to Stockton University to study exercise science, and I really loved it there because their exercise science program was new. They had all new buildings and equipment, which was used a lot less than they promised in the orientation, but whatever. I'm sure they use it more a lot now, but I really did love the program. The professors were thorough, and I still talk to one or two of them to this day here and there just because they are very good for just giving guidance and advice. And there's people from all walks of life that have different experiences in exercise science. Like someone that's been a professor for 10 years, someone that's involved in college strength programs that does professing on the side. Just like all different kinds of people that are there to help you with any kind of like things you may need.
Did you have a mentor that sticks out to you?
I don't know if I'd call him a mentor because we don't have a strong like connection. I didn't talk to him that much, but he was one of my professors for biomechanics, which I ended up taking online at 8:30 in the morning, which was terrible because everyone just is silent and it was very like volunteer and talk kind of class.
You're probably not getting out of bed for that one. You're probably propping yourself
Oh,
up.
yeah.
You would think that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Fridays was practical day. Learning how to do Turkish get-ups in our bedrooms.
Oh.
This one guy accidentally flashed the whole class. I guess he didn't have underwear on. But all right, the breakout room. But yeah, Zoom school was a little bit weird at that point when we're doing things that like.
What year was that?
That was 2022 or 2021. It was right
so
the year,
was...
not the year that we got cut short for COVID, but the following year after that.
Yeah.
So everything's still online. It was very odd to do a Turkish get-up on my screen with no socks on.
Were you the guy that flashed everyone in class?
No comment. No.
Amazing.
No comment.
Melissa, don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. You and I'm sure I know the answer to this one. I think that we've probably talked about this. How did you find us? Because that's the thing. Like, I didn't have a active ad out. I wasn't posting on social media about interns at the time, anything like that. And this one guy, Ryan Katz, calls me up, gets in the gym, walk me through the process of finding Rebel and kind of your thinking about what you first saw when you got there. Couple parts of that question. Melissa, I'll have you ask some questions here too with this.
So I want to make a correction first. Did not call up Derek. Called up Erica. So we'll just get that out in the open. But
I probably wouldn't have answered.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably would have accidentally thought you were spam or something.
Yeah, probably.
it was actually pretty funny because I'm not going to give like a cliche answer. I was really just emailing everyone on the list they had for us. Or not everyone that really stuck out that I was like, all right, maybe I want to give that a try. So I was just really emailing and calling, and the conversations I had with you guys were great. Like, it was everything I wanted to hear out of like an internship. So, and just for reference, like I was going through like a phase of like, do I want to stay down here like and live with my friends down at school for another semester, even though I had finished all my curriculum. All I needed to do was my internship. So that's why I was looking at things around the area of like where I'm from, to kind of like see if I could just move back home and do my internship at home while still technically in school, but not being around Stockton. But what I saw when I like walked into the place, I had no clue about the small group like format when I was like just kind of learning about training and stuff like that. I knew about big classes. I knew that I really didn't want to do like everyone's doing this and you can't really watch everyone. And like I wanted to be very like movement quality based when I was training people, which is exactly what we do, really.
Yeah.
So that's what I really liked about you guys. And honestly, just I can't really recall anything specific, but like just the conversations that I had with you and Erica in the beginning. And I remember Dami coming in the room, and I was literally like, "Can I hold it?"
Can I hold it?
Holding up Dami. And now he spits in my face and calls me stinky poo-poo butthead. So
Ryan, you
that's really
sure
what kept
you
me
don't
there.
let him do that. You have to make sure that you tell
Let him.
No, you tell him no. You can't spit at me.
And then he'll run away. There's
Oh,
nothing-
that's fine. He could run away. He's got to learn he can't. Anyway, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually as funny as it is. Like, oh, can I hold that? You know, when we first have somebody in the facility, we watch how they react to our children. You know, I think that's incredibly important. Tyler is another one. I'm sure we'll have Tyler on at some point. Tyler's another one who reacted very well to the kids. Like, if RJ is laying down watching TV midday, he'll be like, Tyler, come sit next to me.
Snuggle.
You want to snuggle with me? And Tyler's like, oh, yeah, man, I'll come hang out. You know, like, that's one of the big things that we look at. And you were always phenomenal to children. And if you're good with kids, you're probably going to be pretty good with adults too.
Fun fact, I did in fact ask if Ryan was going to be useless as an intern because he was in a boot when he started his internship. Derek was like, oh, our intern Ryan, he's in a boot. And I asked if he was going to be able to train people and move things around because he did in fact
He assured
have a boot
me
on.
that he could walk
walks.
on his hands. So Ryan actually walked on his hands throughout the entire internship. He did not use his feet. I'm just kidding.
Ryan, how did you get in the boot?
All right, so around October, I traveled home from Stockton to visit Derek and Erica and have a chat with them. And they let me know that they were going to allow me to do my internship with them. And then come December, I decided it's very important that I go down back to school during winter break to play basketball with some of my friends down there. Broke my ankle. Would like to note that I was going for an offensive rebound, which I did bring down when I planted and went to go run baseline to hit a little fadeaway. I was on my friend's foot and it just snapped. So from there, my left ankle had always been my bad ankle. So I had a brace on it, sat it out a little bit, switched the brace from left to right. Thought, I'm good. This doesn't hurt as bad as my other broken ankle a couple of years prior. Went on to then lose that game 16-12. Would like to note that with the broken ankle, did best 2 out of 3, won the next 2 games, playing on one leg, 2v2s, went home, threw my old boot on it, rested, hobbled around the house a little bit. Around midnight when I went to take the boot off, my ankle was huge, and I sent a picture to my dad, and I was like, is this worse or better than my last one? He goes, that's way worse. And so I called my friends back up and said, take me to the hospital. And they said, okay, and then took a bunch of funny pictures of me trying to get out of the car. But I was appreciative.
Riveting.
The intern in a boot. He was a natural right away, this booted intern. We made an Instagram account for him. We had this idea that it would be his senior project, and he would present the project to the class. I'm not going to even I really don't want to talk about your grade for your internship that you got because I might get a little too triggered. I might have to leave the podcast studio. But
my worst grade of college.
I don't want to talk about it because he
my
had
goodness.
such a phenomenal internship, and I said such great things about him and everything that I got. But this one, for whatever reason, just was deficient at everything his senior year. He couldn't get to the finish. Anyway.
I have to clarify. Not being at school, I kind of forgot that I was in school. I was like, my internship, I'm going there. I'm doing my job. There was assignments that were due that labeled final this, final that.
Didn't do it.
Due in March. Why is it labeled final if it's due in March? It should be due at April, the end of April. Anyway, continue.
Anyways.
He had such a phenomenal internship. He had an Instagram account. He still uses favorite intern Ryan. It's favorite non-intern Ryan now because he is not an intern. But he had posted up all these different tips and tricks, things like that. We love getting our interns an Instagram account and getting them engaged. Tyler's done the same thing. It should be a phenomenal final project idea if you're listening and you're in a position where you have the mentoring of college students. But that being said, he does phenomenal. I know the moment that I knew we were going to hire Ryan.
I think we're going to say the same
Do
thing.
you also know
Yeah.
the moment that I'm talking about? Take it away.
Groundhog's Day was when we figured out that Ryan was going to stay full-time. We always say we take training very seriously, but we don't take ourselves very seriously. And it usually takes a little bit of time for interns to kind of get comfortable and be their silly selves. It's an important part of being part of the Rebel staff. You have to be a little silly. We celebrate Groundhog's Day. Derek, I don't really know why. You're the one who knows why. You started this tradition.
I like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, I don't really know. So
It's a
we
good
decided that we celebrate
It's actually
Groundhog's
my
Day. in the
uncle's
gym.
birthday.
It's my
And
friend's
one
birthday.
year it was like, I think he had a milestone birthday. And my dad and I and our family just decided that, we're not gonna celebrate Dave's birthday. We're gonna celebrate Groundhog's Day. And so my father and I bought a bunch of Groundhog's Day shirts and whatnot, and my dad will wear it every Groundhog's Day with a very big smile on his face, very
Solid.
eager. My father's the same way as me. We're very excited to celebrate Groundhog's Day.
I thought you were going to say you bought a
so-
bunch of groundhogs.
No.
Anyways.
Groundhogs I actually don't like groundhogs. They're too close to raccoons, which is another story for another day. I
Yeah.
hate raccoons.
Yeah. So regardless, we decide that we are going to intensely celebrate Groundhog's Day at the gym. We're going to bring in food. It's going to be this big deal. So obviously, the year before Ryan started with us, I said that we needed a groundhog costume because why wouldn't we? So I was a groundhog the year before. I walked so Ryan could run, just saying.
On all fours.
But he had been doing his internship for 1 month at this point. And Ryan, he needed a little time to open up, right? He was getting there. He was getting a little better, but we had to just kick him right out the nest.
At this point, he's out of the boot.
So
Ryan
he's out
is
of the boot.
unchained.
He is unchained. So I handed him the groundhog costume and said, "This is yours for today. You have to play the groundhog. Do your best." And I didn't know if he was up for the challenge because he'd been quiet since, and then he started running on all fours around the gym in the groundhog costume, and I knew we had to hire him
for 8 hours.
for 8 hours straight.
It was kind of scary for people. When I saw the video of it, I was like, whoa, that's kind of scary.
Well, the thing is,
But
like,
it was great.
the groundhog costume, I'm sad to admit, I don't.
It's a squirrel.
It's a chipmunk. It's a chipmunk.
I tried to find a groundhog.
You know what I was thinking about?
It's a squirrel.
You know what I was thinking about, though? The Groundhog Day thing? We haven't done it in 2 years now.
I know, because it's on a
Groundhog Day last
Sunday.
year was a Sunday. It's
I know, it's a Monday.
this
Monday
year,
this year,
right?
You have to come in the morning.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
So Tyler,
Should
or-
we get
I
another
don't
groundhog
know.
costume?
It might have to be Tyler and Kevin who's the groundhog.
Yeah, they got to switch off.
2 groundhogs?
Yeah, I think Kevin would wear it. Kevin is.
Kevin says that he doesn't like to dress up, but we got him to wear a King of Hearts
Kevin
costume.
literally is
so.
like, I don't even dress up for Halloween. You guys dress me up like every month. Kevin, you kind of get into it after a little while. I could tell. Like, you're not exactly upset.
But anyways, Ryan, great work ethic and all of that. The second that groundhog costume was on, it was signed, sealed, and delivered. So.
Yeah.
And back on a more professional note, the fun is absolutely just that. It's incredibly fun. It's incredibly high energy. What I want to know is, what did you like the most about first working as a trainer? Because it's one thing to be like, all right, I think I want to do personal training. I'm interning a little bit now. Like, all right, what do you find the most fulfilling about what you're doing in the first 3 months? Because I know that the answer would probably be a little bit different now. First 3 months, do you remember?
Yeah, I would say they're just really the people that come to us, in a sense, and other places like us, is they're driven by things. You don't have to get them to work out. They're gonna work hard, and it's really cool to see what everyone values in their training, because obviously we could give a great program that's normal basic exercises performed well, but having an older woman come up to me and say I want to learn how to jump, or I want to jump a little bit again, is was surprising at first. Now it's more normal, just different and unique goals. But I think in the beginning that was something that really caught me by surprise, and I was excited to kind of get into the space of getting people toward unique goals and just things that make them happy that they can do.
It's excitement that you can't fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just so
When people
genuine.
buy
Gets you
jump,
giddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask Ryan a question?
Of course.
So kind of on similar lines. Obviously, your main passion is with athletes. We know that you love the athletes. What is your favorite part about training the adults? Maybe something you didn't expect, since it is not necessarily your direct passion, but you do train a lot of adults also.
I definitely still have a passion for training adults, because it's such a different type of training, and it's a little bit more relaxed, where it's you're not exactly you might not be super worried about if something looks exactly perfect the way you think it's gonna grow muscle and do all this thing. Well, but if it's them performing it better than they have in recent history, they're just getting better. And what was the question? I think I'm not answering.
Basically, even though we know you love training athletes, what's your favorite part about training the adults?
Favorite part about training? That's what it was.
Or maybe something that surprised you that you really enjoy about training that type of clientele.
I would say just meeting so many different people. Fitness looks so different for everyone, and it's really cool to see someone come in that maybe has always hated working out. And I feel we have a lot of people that come in hating working out, and then they start to feel a little bit better about it. They start to feel a little bit differently about it when they realize that it's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. And it's really fun to experiment and get people that you know aren't going to really love like the idea of just strength training, weightlifting, and find what works for them and like what strength looks like for them. Like
Absolutely.
like someone might want to just balance for like 30 seconds with a heavy kettlebell in their hand, and that's like really cool for them, and they're going to go home and tell their friends that they stood on one leg for like 3 minutes total.
What you're talking about is such an important concept for a trainer to understand, and you having 3+ years in the industry now is something that I don't know that I had at that moment in time, because what you're describing is not pushing your narrative or your idea of what fitness looks like on somebody else, which is so incredibly important in this industry, because I see it all the time. People are doing things that, and it's social media, which is, one thing, but we oftentimes as an industry lose sight of the end goal. And the end goal should be personalized fitness for that individual. And yes, of course, like you're going to have like your quote unquote chicken and broccoli, like the stuff that we know that you should be able to do, but making sure that that routine, that experience is so personalized and we are catering to what they want is so important, that you're not pushing your own narrative on them.
Yeah, that's something that you guys like helped me realize a lot in the beginning, as far as just maybe progressing with like weights. Certain people they just don't want to increase their weight on things, and that's okay. If they're at a spot where they're still working hard, there's nothing wrong with it.
But those are things that we probably both have gone through in our
yeah.
careers. I did it 100% when I took over the programming for the adult program. Derek was like, hey, the adults don't have to be doing this, but it would be really cool if they did. And then I had to step back and say, no, it's not worth it. So we're just passing on what we did wrong.
But you know what? Isn't
part of the process.
Isn't the process and the point of it all? You
Yep.
know, learn from others, and if we even like go a little bit deeper and kind of exit out of like the direct like exercise relationship. Like what I love about training adults is you can't replicate the experience that our population has had, right? We've got people that are aged 40 to 60, and I love hearing the wisdom. I love hearing the stories. I love hearing the point of view, the perspective of all of these people. And that's something that I thoroughly enjoy. And, we really kind of take that into consideration with how we coach the next group of our trainers. You know what I mean? So it's funny that we kind of make that comparison. And there's so many different, now back to the training part of it, there's so many different levers we can pull on. Like it's not all about pushing weight. We can slow an exercise down. We can alter the rest time. We can put them on a circuit time, or we can add a pause. There's so many different things that we can do. And that's just such an important thing. And
Agreed.
Yeah. I think that that's you in the beginning. Now your role has evolved. Talk us through how your role has evolved.
Well, as far as the adults go, I definitely feel like I'm more, not as a role evolving, more as like a trainer evolving. I'm more in control of like managing people's needs and wants. So I feel like that's definitely like a big part of my evolution as a trainer. But as far as my role with Rebel, I've had a much larger role with the athletes, which I love. Obviously, you guys know that. I love all the adults too. But it's really fun to be able to not just do the X's and O's for them and just like write their programs, take them through it, but to be able to get all those athletes trusting us and seeking information from us. Like I remember we have a mom that started training with us whose daughter's been coming to us for a while, and she finally, after like I was talking with her and her friends, I had a small session with just them, and I was talking to them about like pre-training, pre-game, pre-practice nutrition, and like you shouldn't be running a field hockey game on an empty stomach. Like you should get these things in your body, these quick, fast digesting carbs, these things that like are your main energy source. And the day after I had that conversation with the younger lady, the mom came in and was like thanking me for having that conversation with her and saying that she was actually finally listening to advice and told me to keep doing it, and even had some special requests of things that I should tell her to do that the mom couldn't always get her to do, like
Yeah.
cleaning
So
her
common.
room.
As a father, that's so valuable to have that kind of person.
Yeah.
And
Never want to
it's-
listen to your parents.
Oh my god,
No.
dude! You know what? What's that?
You never want to listen to your parents.
Never.
No, that's why I don't train my parents. I don't.
I think they don't want to listen to you,
They don't want-
actually.
they don't want to listen to me.
They don't
I
want to
think it's-
listen to you.
It's
I
a
don't-
total role reversal. I moved about a half mile away from my parents, as you guys know, and I walked in their house one night at like 10 o'clock unannounced, and finally my dad was like, "This is too much. You need
space.
literally,
We need
I'm like,
space.
oh my god, I'm doing it now. I'm bothering you." But where was I going with that? As a father, sometimes your kids just aren't listening to you. You know, and they just don't want to listen to you because it's you. You could be right. You could be 100% right. But when it's coming from Ryan, it's a totally different story. So we get to be that athlete's, like, person that they need, which is so valuable. You've done an incredible job with the athlete program. I had a moment yesterday where I walked out of the office and I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? This is really cool because this is exactly something that I would do and plus. You know what I mean? Like, you're thinking about it on an even more in-depth level than I would now. You're applying some really great concepts. You're watching I don't even want to talk about it. The injury rate for our athletes is near non-existent in season. We are preparing kids. We've seen it over years now. We're preparing kids tremendously well to both improve in their sport and play their sport safely. And in a world where overuse injuries are rampant, I think you do an incredible job of controlling volume and intensity of sessions. Walk me through some of that process and how it's evolved. You are a young coach. How are you doing such an incredible job with this athlete program? And how are you continuing to audit the way you think about it?
Well, thank you. But I would say mainly, I just always go back to movement quality. Like, for these kids, I'm so much less concerned with, like, how well they're doing certain drills, especially if they're first trying it. More of just, like, how is their body moving? How are they able to respond to, like, the cues that we're giving them?
Self-organizing.
Yeah, just
watching
being
how that
able
works,
to
yeah.
really, like, not put their body in bad positions. And a big part of that, I really feel like, is having those conversations with them, even as a group or one-on-one, of like, hey, like, you need to focus. Like, you need to do this with intent. Like, this is going to do nothing for you if you're not focused on bringing this hip there, putting your foot here. Like, certain little portions of it that get them more focused on the quality of what they're doing and not just how fast or how much weight they can do something for, which I feel like our athletes have done a great job with, is like really taking in all the information that you, Melissa, Tyler, or I will give them, and Kevin, shout out Kevin, taking that information in and like realizing what our end goal is. It's to make sure our knee isn't dropping too low when we're making a cut. We're doing these things for a reason and not just to like be annoying with like breaking down every sprint. Like, your body needs those mental reps, even if you're not thinking about, I'm gonna chop my feet, I'm gonna stop nice and low, I'm gonna squat into the landing of a jump. You're not thinking about it, but just having those habits is over time just going to create amazing quality movement and less injuries. And that's why I think that even if they don't understand it right away, the fact that they just trust us to put in that focus and that effort means a lot, and it's done great things.
Intent and deliberate practice. I think that's why you're seeing at this point in time, like, some of the athletes that you've had now for 3 years, like you directly, are outperforming their peers so tremendously when we have somebody new sign up that might be trained a little bit in the weight room, but not necessarily Rebel trained. And you're watching some of these kids who you might have somebody who's equally strong, right, in, say, a hex bar deadlift. But you've seen like a Rebel athlete that's been here for more than, over a year or two, and you're watching them outperform so tremendously on jumps, so tremendously on speed work, and you're watching their technique and how it works. And I think that it's a true testament to everything that you're describing, owning in on the mental reps and the precision that you're coaching. It's at a very high level.
Yeah. I agree. They're doing an amazing job, and it's been fun to watch.
And how do you really audit it? You know, I think that we are always having conversations like that, and I know it's funny because oftentimes I've had conversations with you in the same way that I had them with Melissa, and it's like, all right, like we're changing up the program, but why are we doing it? Are we doing it because you're bored, or are we doing it because they need to change up the program? And walk me through if that's been challenging for you.
Yeah, it's definitely been challenging to not get bored of what we're doing, and me and Tyler have had countless conversations about this. Like, just I think that's the way we really do audit it for now. It may not be super organized, but like we just talk. We talk about what we see and what we like and what we don't like and things like that. And me and Tyler can sit there like when we're closing up the gym. In the first few weeks that me and Tyler were closing up together, we never were out of there by 9 o'clock, and we're done at like when me and Melissa would close up, we'd be cleaned, everything set up. We're like ready to go, like when you should be around like 8:45, 8:50. Me and Tyler we would talk for like 10, 15, 20 minutes just about random stuff and like things like vision for the athlete program, because Tyler's super passionate about it as well. And then we'd get out to the parking lot. All right, see you later. Oh, yeah, one more thing. And then we'd be sitting out in the parking lot talking for 5 more minutes. And I think that's really, like, how we audit it, essentially, is just by discussing every little thing we see that happens there.
Look, you know, it's a cliche, but you can't fake genuine. It's the thing that we teach everybody on day one, and that's exactly what you just described. Ryan, you got anything else for me right now? I'm going to go into my rapid fire questions if you don't. You have anything you want to tell everybody?
Oh, boy.
I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. All right. So I want to tell everybody that I am a very passionate Eagles fan as well, and we just got our first win last night against the Cowboys. It wasn't pretty. A.J. Brown only had 1 catch, but we got it done. And the reason I bring this up is because of one of my main role models, Jalen Hurts. He is the epitome of mindset, dog mentality. And he gave a post-game interview last night. I'm going somewhere with this. He gave a post-game interview of just saying, like, yeah, it didn't look great, but we did what we wanted to do in the end. We played as a team, things like that, like the little things. He said, I might not always throw a 60-yard bomb, but I can do the things that I can control that don't require being a great athlete at all, like 2 hands on the football, making sure that my guys are lined up in the right spot. Like, those are kind of leads back to training of, like, yeah, you may not be the strongest right now. You might not be the fastest, but what can you control? You can control how much effort you put toward things, and you can control how much focus and grace you attack everything with. And shout out Jalen Hurts. He played a great game regardless of what everyone says. 2 rushing touchdowns. Just a great football player and a great guy.
You're nauseating
as
sometimes.
Much as I dislike the Eagles talk, I think that message is phenomenal.
Thank you.
The message is phenomenal. And without further ado, Ryan, we've got rapid fire. All right, buckle up. Rapid fire means rapid fire, okay? Now, we didn't even touch the chocolate milk reviews, but Ryan routinely reviews protein shakes in the 4 to 5 minute time span, and it is way too long, but they are still good.
So long.
Ryan, favorite cheat meal?
Favorite cheat meal. Okay, this is a little weird, but I was talking to Melissa about it yesterday. Do I have to speak rapid fire as well during the rapid fire questions? Okay, I'll keep going. I really enjoy some mashed potatoes with either little chicken nuggets or like ground beef and like some gravy, like cheese.
Next question.
Yeah,
Favorite exercise?
Bench press or
Next question.
jumps.
Favorite exercise to coach?
Favorite exercise to coach. I'll go back. All right, okay. Favorite exercise, bench press. Favorite exercise to coach, like a jump series, like a depth drop, jump, bang, anything like explosive, cool.
Least favorite workout for yourself?
Least favorite workout for myself, back squats. They make my ankles hurt, both broken.
Favorite coworker?
Don't mess up.
God, this is actually a tough one. All right,
Favorite person to coach with?
Also hard. Ooh.
No. Break up. Stop. Erase your mind of everything. Favorite coworker to coach with?
At this moment in time, Kevin. Me and Kevin have such
There
a
you
great
go.
vibe, and we have so much fun, and he has such a contagious laugh. I love it.
Favorite coworker to get breakfast with?
Derek's the
this
only
is
one
tough.
you actually get
Yeah, I
breakfast
really
with.
only do it with Derek, but
You just want the answer to be you.
I would
You just
say.
want the answer to be you.
Main character energy. But anyway, I would say Derek just because, sometimes he'll drop wisdom, sometimes he'll almost kill you,
You never
and
know
he
what
always
you're gonna
pays. So
coworker you'd most like to go grab a drink with?
Tyler, I need to see what he's like in the wild. I feel like also tied with it is Melissa. I feel like she's just unhinged out in the wild. And
Yeah, I am unhinged out in the wild.
Yeah, she's either unhinged or wanting to go to bed. Everybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Melissa, Ryan, it's been a pleasure. Guys, another phenomenal and fun episode of Rebel Connect. Thanks. Tune in next time.